Hello, my friends. Welcome back. This is Snark and Spark, my channel, and we're going to do a homework video today. I realized I kind of just messed it up. I'm Emily, and my channel is Snark and Spark. Oh, it is a toasty 84 degrees here in the Quad Cities, Midwest weather. This is hot. I miss spring. I like spring and fall. I like those in between seasons when it's not too hot and it's not too cold. And we kind of went straight from winter into summer, and I've had no time to adjust, and it's just hot. First things first, so I did record a Flosstube last week, and then I never got around to editing it or uploading it. So keep that in mind. That will come up this week, and it's not actually this week's. It was last week's. I might just add on to it a quick little update for this week, because I'm a mess. But let's get to what we're here for, homework. So, dun, 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 dun. First and foremost, let's talk about magical stitches and how we are all doing with that. So we are coming up to the end, which doesn't feel real this month. I feel like this month has gone by so quickly, and it has just flown by, which is crazy, especially since my husband and I go on vacation in June in 3 weeks, and that still doesn't feel real. And I'm sure you feel me. I'm like, I haven't lost this COVID weight. Anyways, so magical stitches, here we are. It is book 4, week 3, The Search. Campers, Camp Counselor Sammy and I have an urgent task that requires your attention. No, I am in the wrong task. That was last week. Because it is book 4. Here it is. Goodness. There it is, book 4, task 4, Grover to the rescue. Campers, thank you so much for helping me last week in my absence. However, we are on alert because we have received word of a battle in the labyrinth, and the god Cronus has taken over Luke's body. The god Pan has passed away and has given Grover a task. We are expecting a huge battle at camp, and we may not all make it. In order to get ready, we have the following tasks for you. Task 1. When visiting the god Pan, his walls were covered in red, blue, and green crystals. Stitch 100 stitches using one or all of these colors. The color must be in the name of the floss. And your stitch count has to be a total of 100 stitches. So this is one where we are being very, very specific. There is no wiggle room. So just because the floss may look green or blue or red, it has to actually have that color in its name. It has to be blue-green, green-blue. It has to be Christmas red. It has to actually have it in the name. We're being very specific. Luckily, there are lots of greens and there are lots of blues, lots of reds. I will be working on, I don't have it with me. I would say my dragon, you would think I would say my Australian dragonfly because it has blue threads, but the name of the floss does not have the name blue in it. Does not have the word blue in the doodle-doodle-doo thread. Goodness gracious. But I am working on that test piece that is Noxious Crocodile, and it is blues, and I am currently using a blue, and so I will be using that. I can easily do 100 stitches on that, and I need to. Task 2. The heroes had to return to the labyrinth by entering a boarded-up door at the Western Museum of Mining and Industry. Stitch 300 stitches on a whip that contains an object you might find in the Old West or used for mining. State what the item is, but you do not have to stitch on it. Then this is an open one. This is the creativity one. Lots of things in the Old West. Horses, cowboys, cows. I'm thinking, the gunslingers and the sheriffs and anything like that. What popped in mind for me was I have my like old timey book poster that says like books, the key to the. It just says to read basically, but it's like an old timey advertisement for books, and it kind of reminds me of like a wanted poster. So that's where I'm going with that, as like a wanted poster for books. But there were books in the Old West. There were also saloons and cowboy boots and hats and dancers. That was a nice word for it. And bars and whiskey and outlaws and gangs, all that kind of fun. So this is your time to bring out those old Western pieces that you have, or anything. Maybe you're doing something police force related because there would have been sheriffs and things back in the Old West. It just has to have an item on it. You could also think they were mining. They mined for gold and different types of ore. So, and like the canyons and stuff, and cows and cattle played a big part in the Old West. So there's that. I also am going to take a look at some of my newer things that I just bought that I need to start working on anyways, that are going to be ornaments for my coworkers, because I'm sure there's something there that I could easily say would be a part of the Old West in some of those, whether it just be the landscape or the trees. There you go. Or again, something that could be used for mining, pickaxes, shovels, actual gems itself. It doesn't have to just be gold. It can be other kinds of gems. And what is it called when you do it in the water? Panning for gold. That's like type of mining. So you could always use water or just different types of like the strainers and things. I feel like this seems really closed, tight, small, narrow. I think it feels narrow, but when you actually sit down and start thinking about it, you have more options than you realize. 3. During the battle, Grover opened his mouth and let out an ear-piercing trumpet of fear sound. Stitch 300 stitches on a whip that contains a musical instrument. Now in all capital letters it says, be creative, with an exclamation mark. Okay? You do not have to stitch on the item, just tell us what it is. So think this could be a lot of things. Yes, there are musical instruments that you could use between guitars and flutes and harps and violins. It's funny what my brain jumps to as examples. But I'm also thinking your voice is a musical instrument. Singing a choir is a musical instrument. An insect rubbing its wings together as its mating call, its mating song, is a musical instrument. Tapping on my desk, I just used it as a drum, and that's a musical instrument. There are definitely ways to be creative with this that you're not really pushing the envelope. 4. Oh, what am I going to use? My voice? I'm also thinking maybe the crocodile. I wanted to look at it, but using like water as an instrument. I could just be making this up completely, but maybe the sounds of water running is a musical instrument. I don't know. There's water in the crocodile piece that I'm working on. There is also, I believe, in the Harry Potter piece, the Letters from Hogwarts, in the Quidditch section, there is, in the stands, oh no, like those are just people on brooms. I was going to say it looked like there was like people had horns, but I'm pretty sure those are just the people riding their brooms. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Otherwise, I'll just do penalty, and that's fine. Finally, number 4, Poseidon appears at Percy's 15th birthday party. He gives him a sand dollar and tells him to spend it wisely. Percy is very confused, but learns this is some type of currency. Stitch 300 stitches on a whip and tell us what strange item you would use as currency if you could. Now, this one seems kind of vague, and I will do some double checking with the other admins. but this definitely comes across as meaning we could stitch 300 stitches on anything we want and just say what thing we would use as currency. But I am not 100% positive, so let me double check in that real quick. It just says that we're being very broad. So, more power to you. So I'm going to take that as stitch whatever you want, but talk about something, some weird item that you would love to use as currency. What popped into my brain right away was, like, right now I'm like, needles. I have so many needles, or I have so much floss. Could I just use cross-stitch supplies as currency? So that is that. If you don't have a whip that has the items, you have to use your oldest whip and either do 300 stitches, or if you're doing task 1, the 100 stitches, depending on those. Show us your starting point, your ending point, your cover photo of it, and tell us how much you stitched. That's about it. So moving forward, let's go to daily 30. I haven't had enough caffeine. I'm kind of dragging a little bit. My brain works better when I've had enough caffeine in it. So this is Sparks Week. Sparks will fly this week as we take a trip around one of Nevada's cities with our tour guide, Sharon. I am not Sharon, but she wrote this in first person, so hello, my favorite stitchy friends. Tour guide Sharon here, ready to tell you all about Sparks, Nevada, which is a bedroom community of Reno. We moved to Sparks first in 1987, and both of our children were born in Reno. We moved away for 2 years in 1993 to 1995, but missed the gorgeous view of the Sierra Nevada mountains and the average 252 days of sunshine per year. We returned in 1995 and have lived there ever since. Founded back in 1904 as the site of a switching yard for the Southern Pacific Railroad, Sparks, named for Nevada Governor John T. Sparks, who owned a local ranch, is today a bustling city of 107,000 people, making it the state's 9th most populous city. Among attractions like the Nugget Event Center and the 295,000 square foot flagship location of sporting goods retailer Scheels, is that right? I don't know. I've honestly never heard of it. Sparks is appreciated for its four-season outdoor activities, which include access to a network of hiking trails and the Wild Island Water Park. The lovely marina is the city's centerpiece. The 77-acre lake, part of a naturally occurring aquifer that replenishes, has some 3 million gallons of fresh water each day, is enjoyed by residents who sail, windsurf, scuba dive, walk the 1.9-mile trail around the lake, or bring their dogs to the popular dog park on the water. Here we go. So, task number 1. The origin of Sparks is related to travel, the railroad switching yard. Stitch on a whip related to travel or has an item that can be used to travel. 200 stitches or 300 stitches. Trains, planes, automobiles, bicycles, scooters, skateboards, shoes. Travel. Letters from Hogwarts has the train. Nice and easy for me. 2. Sparks is the 9th most populous city in Nevada. Stitch on your 9th largest active whip. Oh, geez. I honestly don't even have 9 whips going currently. I have 4. 3. 4. Yep. So I guess I would just pick my largest one. I don't know. 3. Sporting goods retailer Scheels started putting Ferris wheels inside their stores in 2004. That's crazy. The Sparks, Nevada Ferris wheel is 65 feet high. Did I mention it is inside the store? And it offers rides for $1 per person. Cool. Stitch on a whip that has a Ferris wheel shaped item in the design. So big, round, circles, wheels. My cat's about to make an appearance. I don't know if you guys have ever seen our cat. he has become more bold lately now that he's more used to us having a puppy around, since Kennedy will be she will be 1 year old in July. So she is almost 11 months right now, and he has finally gotten used to coming back downstairs because he did hide upstairs all the time. Look at this guy. Come on, bud. Oh, this is Washington. He has a mustache. He's our grumpy old man. I guess he's going to sit on my desk now. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Thanks, bud. Yeah, he wants attention. Where was I? Wheels, things like that. This is what it's like to have a cat that is needy. 4. Sparks has many hiking trails to enjoy during the 252 days of sunshine. Stitch on a whip that you can relate to hiking. So anything outdoors, anything that looks like a hiking trail or is a national park or anything like that, I would definitely say. Wooded areas. 5. The Sparks Marina is a favorite among local residents. Stitch on a whip containing water. Bonus of 5 tokens if your whip contains a pond or lake. That would definitely be my crocodile piece. I don't know if it's a pond or a lake, but it's water. And then the last but not least is the daily 30 Stitch for 30 minutes for 5 days, which brings us to the end of it. This dude is happily contained in my arms for now, but is going to want me to love on him. I wonder if you can hear him purring because he is on my microphone. Hopefully that's not too awfully loud. But with that, I'm going to wrap that up, give this guy some attention, feed the dogs, and I will get to actually editing that Flosstube video that I filmed last week. Because I gave you guys some updates of what was going on in my life and in my house and with my projects. So stay tuned for that, but I will talk to you guys soon. In the meantime, happy stitching, happy reading, happy listening, happy watching, happy doing whatever it is that makes you happy doing, happy loving on your pets. And I will talk to you guys later. Be easy with your hearts.